Sooner Nation, welcome back to the Sooner Surge Double Trouble. Thanks again for joining us again tonight. Really appreciate you. Go ahead and like this video, please. It always helps out. And there's a lot of people already commenting on here. A lot of things happening today. Got a lot of portal updates kind of for you here. OU basketball just won tonight. Jeremy is on his way back from Lloyd Noble with a great crowd there. I think 11,000 fans there. So great atmosphere, I'm sure. He's driving back right now, but let's go ahead and get started. A lot of stuff. I see a lot of comments in here about Jake Roberts. Jake Roberts has not committed from what I've seen. I have not seen a commitment yet. I think it will happen, yes. And I think, yes, Joe C., I think it will help with Nate. I agree with that for sure. Yeah, I can't find it either. Yeah, it's not out there yet. I haven't seen anything like that. Billy says, Switzer Center, if you get this message, close the deal on Lance Hurd tomorrow. Jackson Arnold deserved the line better to be better in the first game than it was in the first game. Hey, agree. Hurd, from what I've heard, is going to be visiting. I did not see a commitment today to Tennessee, which means, yeah, he's going to be there, hopefully tomorrow. So that would be massive. If you could somehow land Hurd for this season, huge get out of the portal. Also heard some rumblings about Terrence Ferguson from Alabama being in town visiting today as well. So we'll see. If they can land another portal offensive lineman, it would be massive. Mess says Reed Adams, KU, appears to be down to A&M in Tennessee, according to the Tennessee side. Well, if that's the case and they end up getting Adams, I think that might bode well for Hurd for OU. But,
hey, Jay.
Yeah.
Don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
I'm kind of shocked by two things. One, it's kind of interesting OU hasn't made an announcement about Zach Alley yet.
That's yeah.
Two, Hurd would be a massive get if they're able to land him tomorrow.
Yeah, and Mike, I was going to get to this. Thanks for the super. We really appreciate it. Yes, Michael Tarquin. Let me tell you my thoughts, and then Jeremy, maybe you give me yours. Michael Tarquin, to me, it's a depth piece out of the portal. I don't think he's a guy that's going to come in and, let's say, set the world on fire. That's just my opinion. I think he's a guy that can play some if you need him, but I don't see him being personally, I don't know if he's a day one starter, Jeremy. Do you?
Yeah,
I think he's a good get because it gives you more depth.
Don't you think he'll push, though, to maybe get on the field?
Exactly. I think that's what. And
got the size.
Jeremy,
there's no set piece, Jay.
He may start. I don't know. But Mess says he needs to hit the weight room, and a lot of that's because of the offense he was playing with. USC, Lincoln Riley, Benny Wiley. He does probably need to hit some weight room compared to what Bill Beatenbow needs to do with him, probably. So we'll see. But it is another guy that you get out of the portal that gives you depth.
Hey,
and it's
Jay.
going to push other guys. Yeah, Jeremy.
6'5", 300. That's all I need to know.
He's a big guy, yes. But I don't know. I've heard some stuff that he got benched at USC. I mean, who knows at USC? Predicted line, this is a great question, Bobby. Golly, that's a great question. Okay, Jeremy, do you want me to start?
What's the question say? I can't see it.
Predicted line next year.
Let me go first.
Okay.
And Jay, don't rip me. I'm going to say Josh Bates at center. Okay. I'm going to say Spencer Brown at one of the tackles.
Okay.
Sexton at the left tackle.
Okay.
And guards, I'm going to say Fabechi. And the other guard, I think, of course, if they get Hurd, probably him. But, I mean, I don't know on the last guard spot, Jay. It could be Tarquin. Oh, actually, sorry, I'm going to change it. I'm going to go Eugene Brooks or Daniel Akinkumi starting.
Okay. Yeah, I almost did. And, hey, Purple, I'm not saying that Bates won't start. What I'm saying is it would be hard for me to think that in the SEC the first year that Bates is going to be tremendous year one. I think he's a good player. Here's what I would go starting right now. If with what they have, I'm not counting Hurd. To me, I'm not counting Hurd right now. So Yeah, Topher says he's on a plane headed to Norman. I've heard the same thing. Here's what I would say. I'd say yes. Spencer Brown, yes. He's a starter probably. I say Sexton, probably. Center, I'm with you. It could be Bates, but I would not rule him out with another guy from the portal to play center. Or, guys, is Fabetti ruled out to play center?
I don't know if he's a center, Jay, but you said
he's played
Sexton
center.
probably.
He's played it.
You just said Sexton probably. He's a
Yeah.
lock, isn't he?
He's not. I don't think he's a lock if somebody named Hurd shows up.
I still think Sexton's a lock, Jay.
So he would start over Spencer Brown then?
I don't know, Jay, but he played most of this year and played pretty well.
He didn't play most of the year. He played when Guyton got injured.
Half the season.
Hey, I don't know. I think it's still up in the air. I'd love to see what people on the chat think. But yeah, he's from LSU. Hurd's from LSU. That's correct. He visited Tennessee today. He's now on a plane to Norman for tomorrow's visit, which we need a great visit tomorrow for Hurd. And yes, Spencer's a right tackle. Correct, Mess. So you got I think Spencer Brown's probably penciled in as a day one starter. Right? That's my opinion. I mean,
yeah, Spencer Brown's starting, in my opinion.
What about Fabetti, guard or center?
Guard, probably. I don't know if he's going to be a center.
So what you're telling me right now, if what you're telling me is true, Jeremy, then Joshua Bates is going to be starting because your only other choice is Troy Everett at center.
Yeah, you know my thoughts on Josh Bates, Jay.
Hey, but what I'm saying, I think he's good, but I'm not going to get into this again about it. I'm just saying, yeah.
Hey, center then, Jay.
Chad, appreciate you, Chad. Thank you. He's a new member. Appreciate the super, Chad. Really do. Yeah, Mike. Mike says, after hearing about Allie last night, really confident in what we're going to get from him. They're probably going over the contract. I think you're right. I think that's why we haven't heard anything yet. Jeremy Vance says, watch you Cats every night now. Good stuff. How about those hoops tonight? Hoops legit. This is the game they could not win last year. They couldn't make the clutch plays. Every Big 12 game is going to come down to the last 4 or 5 minutes. You got to make the plays. They did tonight. How was that atmosphere down there, guys?
Hey, it was about 20 minutes before the game, I said it wasn't a good crowd, but it was a great crowd. This is like a March crowd, and it's January.
And no students, right?
Uzan is an old soul. He plays way above his years. I thought he was one of the best, but Rivaldo Soares, to me, has been the difference maker a lot.
Yeah, him and Darhart played really well. Hey, Eric says Eichert said Spencer Brown needs a lot of work. And that may be true. I didn't hear that, but I'm sure he probably did. I mean, Gabe Eichert's pretty honest about it. Yeah, Sooner fan Lloyd Noble was packed. But here's the deal. They got Michael Tarquin today. They got Fabetti. They got Spencer Brown. That's 3 O-linemen out of the portal, and there's still guys visiting. They may get another one. To me, that's great. That gives you more guys. Figure out who your best 5 are and go with it. You know?
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
Chad Gamble here. Again, a Sooner Surge Unlimited member, the most recent one. Thanks, Chad. Will David Stone start, Jay?
Game one.
Yeah.
I'm not saying nothing. He's a guy to me that's a game changer. And you know, guys like Adrian Peterson, Gerald McCoy, when they step on the field, you're like, these guys are different. I think David Stone is that guy. I think he's different. And so I'm not going to roll that out. No, I think he could start. I don't know.
I think he's a day one player. I don't think he's a day one starter.
Yeah, I mean, maybe so. Selwyn, 1993 is the last time OU won in Lawrence. It's now or never. It's never. If you watch any of the Kansas basketball game today against TCU, it's almost impossible to win in Lawrence. They get every freaking call, and Porter Moser did it right in the beginning of the year when they had the Big 12 media days, and he calls out Bill Self about that. It's ridiculous the calls they get. The flagrant one that was called against TCU in the last 58 seconds, atrocious.
What are they saying about that, Jay?
What?
Is that being talked about all over nationally?
Well, what do you think they're saying on the media? They're saying call was right. They got it right.
Jay, I hate, my opinion on the Good Old Boy Network.
Oh, yeah. Bill Self's part of the Good Old Boy Network. Hey, Texas Tech beat Texas tonight in Texas. So, bad week for Texas fans, guys. I'm happy. Bad week.
Absolutely.
Sooner fan says Tarquin has played for 2 schools already. Kind of a red flag to me. I mean, I kind of agree with that, but I also, at the same point, it's transfer portal. I think that's the new age, guys. I mean, in this time of age. Yeah, Houston's unreal, Jeremy. Unreal. I think Houston's the best team in college basketball right now. Sooner fan, one was USC, so I can forgive him for just a bad decision. Yeah. And I'm glad Blake Horton, I'm with you. I'm glad Texas is losing right. That's right. So the news from today from the portal is Michael Tarquin, a Sooner. We have not heard about Jake Roberts. No commit yet. You got Hurd visiting tomorrow. You have apparently maybe Terrence Ferguson in town today, another offensive lineman from Alabama. So we'll see. But I think they land one more, Jeremy. And I think if Hurd is it, it's the big fish.
Jay.
Yeah.
2 things. One, I don't have a red flag that Tarquin played at 2 other schools. That transfer rule's never been in effect.
Correct.
The other, Bo Nix, other guys could have possibly transferred 2 times if that rule was in effect. I don't think that's a red flag. Second thing, you were just talking about who you were just mentioning something, Jay.
I mentioned portal guys.
Jake Roberts. If Jake Roberts isn't a Sooner by Monday, I'll shave my head.
Jeremy, you don't say stuff that's
he's going to OU. Come on.
You're not shaving your head. Stop.
He's going to go to OU.
Are you the type of parent that when you tell your kids they're going to be, hey, if you do this again, I'm going to take your phone away from you, and it's an empty threat, dude. That's an empty threat.
He's a depth piece.
Empty threat.
He's going to provide 2 back set. He's going to be better than Blake Smith. He's a Sooner.
Hey, Blake, this is a great question. How do you think our tight end room ends up? Mitchell will be a good talent, but there's just no telling with freshmen. Hey, that's why I'm thinking it's going to be good, because look, you have the Sharpen kid that transferred in. You got, if you get Jake Roberts, you got Caden Helms coming back from injury. It gives you guys. So, yeah, roll your window up, Jeremy, if it's down. I don't know what's going on. I think it's your air conditioner or heater. So, hey, let's see here. Let me get these comments. Here we go. Kenneth Nichols. He may be over his skis a little bit, but he picks up the blitz really well. But that's what we need, somebody to pick up the blitz sooner since 1970. I'm trying to understand that. But, yeah, so, Jeremy, do you think Hurd's going to come to OU? I don't know if Jeremy can hear me. So,
what, Jay? Sorry,
yeah.
Jay, we missed the exit, man. We missed the exit.
How?
Probably because I was talking about Jake Roberts.
Hey, yes, Topher says Tarquin left Florida injured, like Mess says. USC also is where his father-in-law played, so doing stuff for his wife. There we go. Okay. Love to see Helms stay healthy and get a chance. But I think Helms is a guy that's really itching to play.
Hey, Blake
Horton. Be good if he gets on the field.
Blake Horton, welcome back again, Blake. I love your comment tonight. Starting off with a good one. I love that comment about Helms.
Yeah. And Selwyn says, do you guys think Helms will be ready to play this year? I say yes.
Hey, Jay, you know what I'm going to say about the tight end room?
What?
Dallas Cowboys, Kansas City Chiefs, a lot of teams play 3 or 4 tight ends throughout games. I think OU could do that in the future.
Well, they could rotate guys. Bobby says Herb wants to play left tackle exclusively, which is one of the reasons he left LSU. I think that will be the hiccup with landing him. That's an interesting point. And Eric says throw him the bag you were saving for Hicks. I'm trying to understand this one. S the G says who's scholarship. I think he's maybe wondering who's on scholarship. Is that right? Rephrase that. I'm trying to understand what you're saying there. Sooner fan, it's ridiculous if OU is a 5 seed. OU should be higher than that right now. I mean, in basketball,
Jay,
They
if
should have
OU
a
go,
3 seed.
look, we're looking at the schedule earlier. If OU goes 12-6, that means they're going to win road games at UCF. They're going to beat Cincinnati on the road. They're going to beat maybe TCU on the. If they go 12-6, I think they're a 4 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, 12-6. I think 12-6, you're probably a 3 seed.
Yeah, maybe a 3 seed.
This conference is ridiculously good. Would we start Hurd over Sexton at left tackle? Because that doesn't sound like a BV move. Interesting. Jeremy, your thoughts on that?
Well, I think BV has kind of turned over a new leaf. I'm not sure the loyalty in BV as they enter the SEC, and I may be wrong. I don't know if that continues. Ted Roof's gone. He made a big decision there. I think the loyalty days are done.
Hey, and all right, he rephrased
His butt's
it.
getting warmer the longer this goes without a playoff appearance.
S the G says, whose scholarship gets pulled with the new guys? We're already 3 over at 88. You don't have to be to 85 till, I don't remember the date. Hunter would know this, but he's not on here. You don't have to
They're
be
not
to 80.
over the limit, Jay. They're not over the limit.
They're not over the limit right now?
No.
Okay. Hunter, are you on here?
Yeah, I am.
What is the deal there? He says 3 over 88.
I don't believe they're over yet. I feel like with the portal additions they had, the guys that they lost a few scholarship guys. They should be under right now. I know before BV said on signing day, early signing day, that he wanted 6 more out of the portal in the trenches. So with that means scholarship guys, obviously meaning you're under the limit. There was a few guys, I think Zach Schmidt was one of them, that got put on scholarship last year. I would not expect him to be back on scholarship this year. I don't think any kickers get scholarships, if you ask me. I think it will be a kind of a pool thing. I don't know the exact date that they have to do it, but it's sometime in the spring where it all has to be official.
Yeah, and somebody said you can put some of them on PWO, like you just said with Zach Schmidt. That's a good point. Right now, according to Rivals, they're at 88, Mess says. Will Andrew Anthony be ready for the 24 season? Yes, Chad, I believe so. OU will process more by the fall. They will. They're going to process more guys out even after spring games. I mean, they're going to get down to the number they need to get down to, even if they are 88 right now. Hub says hopefully he plays the best player. Yes, that's hopeful and true, but that's not always the case, I don't think. Bill Self wears a hairpiece. I agree with you, Sooner fan. That game today, it's hard for me to watch. I watched a lot of basketball today. It's hard for me to watch any game Kansas plays in at home. I just lose my mind with the referee. It's just so bad. And TCU got absolutely screwed today. If you watched any of it at the end of the game, they got screwed, period. Plain and simple. Jeremy, you hear me? Still there?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Hey, Dalpo says sometimes a little loyalty isn't bad, but you have to be willing to make a change when it's needed. Correct. Good. Well put.
You want me to
Dalpo.
give my analogy again, Jay?
What analogy?
My Billy Bean analogy.
Oh my gosh, you and Billy Bean. Have you watched the movie since then? Good evening, Tanya.
I may go watch it tonight.
Good evening, Tanya. How are you? Switchfoot, hi. How are you guys? Appreciate you joining tonight. It's a good Saturday to be a Sooner, man. It really is. Good game from Oklahoma Hoops. Got somebody out of the portal. You got a big guy visiting tomorrow. It's going to be a great day, I think, tomorrow. And when is Zach Alley going to be announced, Jeremy? Monday?
I thought there was a chance they did it at the game tonight, and they didn't do it.
Hey, Mess, I believe you're thinking Terrence Ferguson, I believe, is who you're talking about, if that's who you're talking about.
Appreciate you, Tanya.
Tanya, appreciate you as always. Means a lot. It really does. Thank you so much, Tanya. Thank you. Silverman, hola. Hola, Silverman. How are you tonight? Where was I going here? A coach is supposed to play the best players. If they're not, then it's a disservice to the university. I agree with that. You can't have loyalty. You got to play the best players. I think Venables does for the most part. I mean, wouldn't you agree? I mean, there's some rotational things I think they could be better at.
There's some questionable things his first 2 years. Look, he's not going to be wrong because he can always say, well, they weren't.
Lost
Hey, you got me?
Gotcha.
PJ Adebawore should have played more. There's some that could have played more, I think. The loyalty piece, I don't know. We saw it a little bit last year, especially his first year. And I get that. You're new into the system, but he knows it's got to change in the SEC. It has to.
Yeah. Hey, Farouk did not enter the portal. It's over until spring.
It's over. It's not over.
Till spring it is.
No, I'm telling you, I think they fumbled the paperwork. Somehow
God.
he fumbled his paperwork. It hasn't really been official.
Okay. Jay Jones wants to know who starts over Farouk next year. We need a change, he says. I don't know, Jay. To me, Deion Brooks looks like a really good slot player from what I've seen. Here we go. Topher's got the info. He always does. Topher's the man. Says TJ Ferguson. Did I say Terrence? I mean, that's the way I call him. Is on a visit now. They are looking at him for center, if I heard right. So we'll see. Farouk gets moved to slot. Okay, but
Deion Burks is the slot guy.
I think Deion Burks is going to play slot too. Anyone that holds onto the ball starts.
I know where Farouk needs to be. He needs to be a guy coming off the bench and providing some games.
Yeah. Hey, let me say this. And Jeremy, you may disagree. You probably will. If they go get a portal offensive lineman to play center, doesn't that kind of tell you that Bates isn't ready?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what they'd be saying. I think he is ready, though.
He may be ready. I just don't know if he's ready to play SEC football year one. That may be what they don't want to throw him in the fire year one in the SEC. I don't know. We'll see. I love Josh Bates. I think he's going to be outstanding at Oklahoma.
Shelby says deep back and left out.
Oh, Farouk? Probably Farouk. And Joe C says, yeah, or Bates just doesn't have the tools and probably never will. I think he's got the tools. I think Josh Bates is going to be really good. I loved it when they got him from high school. I think he's going to be really good. But he's a redshirt freshman this year coming up.
I'm not getting in the argument again.
No, but listen, I'm not asking you to argue. Please don't, because I don't want you to hear from you tomorrow that I argued at you. But what I'm saying is it's hard for anybody in the SEC. I bet if you went and looked at it right now, how many redshirt freshmen have started at center? There's not that many. Am I wrong?
No, I mean, Jay, I'm going to be totally just 100% honest with you. I don't follow.
I hope you always are you not?
Jay, I don't follow centers' careers very often. I'll just say that.
I can tell you right now, there's probably been hardly any that have played as a redshirt freshman.
When did Creed Humphrey play at OU? Freshman year, right?
Did he play his freshman year? I'd have to look that up.
If he didn't, he played a redshirt freshman year, Jay.
Okay, I'm just saying, I'm talking about SEC football. And Creed Humphrey is one of the rare occasions if it happened, yes.
Yeah, Bates was highly recruited, so.
Selwyn said he wasn't that highly recruited. Selwyn says, do you think Pettaway will get some time at slot? I'm afraid that if guys like Pettaway and PJ don't get more playing time, they will leave. That is the problem you run into, though, is with the portal now, if guys aren't happy, they can leave. And that's where playing more guys benefits you because you can kind of help the roster a little bit.
Hey, Jay?
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to argue.
Don't preface it with that, please.
Bates, I'm pretty sure I know he was a 4-star. And he may have been
highly recruited, yes.
He may have been the best center in the nation, Jay.
Bates was very highly recruited, Jeremy.
He may have been, I think he was the top center in the country.
Jeremy, listen to me. I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that he's going to be great. I'm arguing as a redshirt freshman to be starting in the SEC. I'm not sold on that. That's my opinion.
I want an honest answer, Jay. Are you saying, would it be because of lack of size? Because that's not it. What is it?
It's because it's redshirt freshman, period. That's all I need to say, okay? Anyway, did anybody impress at the OU in the All-American game? Listen, Taylor Tatum didn't play because of injury. You had Zion Raggins. Nothing stood out just overly impressive. James Nesta, nothing like the guy that really stood out was TJ Moore for Clemson.
And yeah, and Reagan stood out during the week of practice.
Yeah.
Zion
guys,
guys,
really good at practice. Correct.
Zion, there's two Zions. You got him and Kearney, and they're both going to be special.
Yeah. Dalpo says, this is why I don't blame players for doing what's best for them. Farouk stayed when we needed him to. Now he's had a bad year, and everybody ready to toss him out like the trash. What do you think about that?
Here's what I'd say. Who made that comment? Sooners to win?
Dalpo.
I do agree that Farouk has been loyal to the program when he could have left multiple times.
Agreed.
And here's the deal. No one wanted Farouk to leave when Riley left. Nobody. Now everyone wants him out. I would say
everyone. Who's everyone? Hold up.
90% of Sooner fans.
I doubt it's 90%, Jeremy.
It's probably close, but Jay, the point is,
I doubt it.
It's probably somewhere in between is the correct
You
correct
don't know
take.
what it is.
Somewhere in between.
Germs people.
Hunter and Jackson
Orca
both say over 90.
Jackson and Hunter both say that, but Purple Orca says Germs people do.
That's right, my people. I didn't know I had people, Purple Orca.
You got a posse. Bobby says, depending on the recruiting site, he was ranked 1 to 4 top center. I agree with Germ that he's going to start next year. Hey, Bobby, you're agreeing with me.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby.
Jeremy, you know what I wish you would do is sometimes when you argue something, stick to what your argument is. You're not you think you're right on everything. When I'm saying he's probably going to start 2 with him or Troy Everett, who else would start? That's not the argument.
I think he would start over another guy that came in.
The argument is not, is he going to start? The argument is, do you want a redshirt freshman starting at Oklahoma in the SEC first?
Yes, I do. I do this year.
Wow, yes. You do. Okay, you do. Okay.
Because here's why, Jay.
You answered it. You did.
Jay, he's been with the program. He knows beat and bow. In my opinion,
redshirt freshman though.
So was Humphrey. What's the difference in redshirt freshman with Jackson Arnold?
And I said Jackson Arnold's going to have growing pains this year, did I not?
Bates will have growing pains, Jay.
Okay, that was the whole argument. You said he wouldn't.
No, that's not the argument. You don't think he should start.
No, I think he should start if it's him or Troy Everett, Jeremy. Yes, 100%. Joshua Bates should start with Troy Everett. That's not an argument.
Someone said
Burks option, Bobby. He is the best.
Someone said Burks is like Ryan Broyles. I like that.
Switchfoot says he feels a blow-up argument coming. LOL. We probably shouldn't. I think Josh Bates is going to be really good. I just think it's going to be hard for a redshirt freshman to get in the SEC, man. You're going to be playing in stadiums like LSU, Ole Miss. It's going to be hard. Hunter or Jackson may know that. If Bates was injured at all in 2023, I think I heard something he was a little bit banged up.
No, they both said not to their knowledge at all.
Okay. Is Okie State's quarterback grandchildren going to attend his final year at Oklahoma State? I think, is he talking about Bowman? Did you see Gunnar Gundy went to Ohio University?
He went to OU.
Ohio University, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Jay, I think that the consensus, even with us here, is Bates. About Bates the whole time, but Everett, I think the consensus assumption is Everett might get bullied around.
Everett, I'm going to say it right now. If Everett starts, OU's going to get destroyed up front. And it's not just Everett, but
Jeremy, Jay. The other thing is, you remember a guy named Caden Green? I don't want to talk about him, but he played as a true freshman.
Jeremy, it's a different center and guard are different, bro.
I know they are, Jay.
Sorry.
I know they are.
Sorry. I know you're making a joke. Everett gets tossed around at guard. Yes. I'm not sold on Everett playing much at all. I don't know if he's ready for that type of football. in the SEC. I didn't see enough from him to think, yeah, he's going to be okay to hold his own. Did you? I just didn't. Jeff says Fabici will start.
Absolutely, he's going to start, Jay. I don't know about center, though.
You didn't have him in your starters.
Yes, I did at guard.
Fabici?
Yes, Fabici.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mess says not me too with ever. I mean, just didn't see it at all.
Fabeci's going to start. Look, he's going to start. Absolutely. I guess Bates is a question mark, but that would leave the 3 automatic guys as Sexton, Spencer Brown, and Fabici, 3 starters.
Yeah, but I don't think anything's – here's the thing, going into next year, if you look at that offensive line right now, is there one guy that you're saying guaranteed starter? I don't think there is, Jeremy.
I would go with Sexton.
As a guaranteed starter?
Yes.
Really?
Absolutely.
I agree he could start, but I don't
think
– Hey,
Jay, I'm going to hop off here. Jay, I'm going to hop off here real quick and get inside and get my camera on. Sorry.
All right, man. Hey, yeah, Brown is already committed. Spencer Brown's already committed, Jeff. He will be here. He will be in Norman. He's already committed. Purple says Sexton as well will start. Oh, man, what's up, Mark? I don't know what happened. YouTube never started playing the video when the live started, just stayed in the waiting screen. That's weird. Yeah. Thanks for joining us now, though, Mark. Appreciate it. A little bit earlier on your time zone right now. Man, I had the BYU game on earlier, guys, basketball. They got a dude that looks like he's about 35 playing. His name is a Khalifa. Go. If you got it on ESPN, check him out. He's a pretty good player, but what if Hurd demands to play left tackle, as Cracker Mac says? I mean, that's a possibility that he is saying that. I'm not going to rule that out these days. These kids, sometimes they want to do something specific. But here's what I would say to that. What's keeping OU from saying yes to that? Okay, you want to play left tackle? You got it. Who at OU right now is keeping them from saying yes? I don't know of anybody in Oklahoma's offensive line that says, you're the stud left tackle. Do you? I say if he wants to play left tackle, there's the door. Come on in, buddy. We got a spot for you. That's my opinion. Because I don't think you have a guy at left tackle right now that's just pure dominant that you can say, no, we can't do that. Hub says, yeah, let him play. Just like what was that movie? Bad News Bears, let them play. That's what I say, let him play. 100%. Good point. Cracker Mac says, yes, let him play and let him play left tackle if that's what he wants to do. I think it'd be different if you had a left tackle right now that was dominant, but you don't.
Hey,
would you agree with that?
What?
If he's demanding to play left tackle, Hurd, would you say let him do it?
No, I'm not going to let a player demand anything if I'm the coach.
Oh, you're Jeremy. Stop! Wow.
No,
okay.
Brent Venables and the culture, they're not going to allow that, Jay.
He wants to play left tackle. You're not going to say, come on, we got a spot for you at left tackle.
Oh, you said if he demands it.
He wants to play left tackle. Yes, no other position.
Then I would say, yeah, you got to earn it. But, yeah, there's a shot for you.
Mike says, Jason, what's your opinion if OU keeps attrition to a bare minimum, we could reach the 12-team playoff next year? I think there's a good chance right now OU can make the 12-team playoff. Listen, I think it would be right on the cusp of the 12. I think it'd be about like this year where they fall around 12. I don't think they're going to be top 4, but I think they can get right around 12.
I think the Deion Burks to Hollywood Brown is a good comparison, even to Ryan Broyles. I will say Deion Burks, if you've looked at him, his body frame, he's bigger. He's not huge by any means, but he's pretty strong looking. He's got a good body.
And Bobby, I agree with this point. And what Jeremy said too about the culture, they're not going to like if somebody's demanding it. But I don't think it's that way. I don't think Hurd saying I'm playing left tackle.
Hey,
that's my. I think they're saying I prefer to play left tackle. That's where I want to play.
I'm thinking of a word that has BB in the middle of it.
BV?
BB in the middle of it.
You're thinking, am I supposed to guess this?
And I think this is what people say Bill Beatenbow is.
Let me guess. Billy Bean?
No, stubborn.
Oh, thank God. What?
Stubborn. People say People act like he's all stubborn. I don't know if he is or not, but I don't think Bill Beatenbow is going to be told who's going to be playing what by college students.
Yeah, switch, but you're right. 9-3, I think, gets you in. I agree with you, Jeremy, on that. But there's a
Here's
difference.
what I would say about the O-line.
Let me say something. If I came to you and you're the coach and I said, hey, I'll transfer here, but I want to play left tackle. That doesn't mean you have to start me at left tackle if I'm not any good, but that's the position I want to play. What's so wrong with that? That's like, how's that any different than the guy coming in and saying I want to play quarterback?
I agree with that. It was the demand word that I had a problem with. Hey, Everett, S to G says Everett played good at center. I will say this. There were no bad snaps. I'll give you that. I just don't think unless he puts on some more weight that he can be the center going forward.
And listen, Everett may prove everybody wrong. He might. I just size-wise.
Was he at App State before this?
Yeah, size-wise in the SEC, those guys that line across from center, it's different animal, dude. It just is.
Sooners to win. We were actually talking about this on the way back tonight from the big game there at the LNC. I'm losing my voice. I was screaming too loud. Sat in the student section because the students weren't there.
You feel like a student?
2 rows up. It was great. Hey, but listen, 9-3, I think absolutely gets you in. And here's what's great about it. Let's say OU's, what that would be 10-1, maybe going in the LSU game, or 9-2 going in the LSU game. You could lose that one and still be okay. LSU is the last game of the year, but I love that the pressure isn't to go undefeated anymore, because it shouldn't be. They should get 5 teams out of the SEC, Jay.
Agreed. And let me get to this question, and then I want to get to Eric's right after it, Jeremy, so don't let me forget. I think every offensive line position is up for grabs. Here's what I compare this to this year. Do you remember the wide receiver room last year? Everyone was like, who's going to be the starters? You got Andrew Anthony, all these guys that transferred in, and then you saw them emerge. I think the same thing, offensive line. I think going into the season, nobody knows. Yes, people think maybe Sexton, but nobody knows next year. And let me get to Eric's. If Caden Green said, I'll stay, but demanded to play left tackle, would you let him walk or meet the demand?
Well,
here's what I would say to that.
I don't think BV's going to meet the demands of play.
Jeremy, I would hope if Caden Green said, I'll stay, but I want to play left tackle, that they would have said, okay.
Mark says he would have played tackle if he would have stayed.
And then
Chris agrees. Chris agrees.
Then that wasn't the issue then.
No, the parent was the issue, it sounded like, remember? Yeah, and Galpus. Everyone thought OU was set at running back. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby, I still wish. And look, this is an old argument, okay? That lost me. It's an old argument. It's an old argument on do you play your studs on special teams, but that happened in the past. And then the other side is, well, OU's got a lot of talent just wasted on the sideline. Let's play those guys at special teams. I don't know which side I'm on this, Jay.
Yeah, Eric, I understand what you're saying. You're comparing it to the Hurd situation. And like I said earlier, if Hurd says he wants to play left tackle, let him play left tackle. Right?
Yeah, I mean, OU's not getting another running back, in my opinion.
I don't think so either.
Let's look at the running back room. Caleb Hicks did not go anywhere. Samuel Franklin, the transfer from the portal. Everyone pretty high on him. Okay. Salchuk, Barnes. Barnes didn't go anywhere. Taylor Tatum's coming in. Now, here's what I do know. OU should play 2 backs next year as far as a 2-back set. So who will that be? You got Xavier Robinson coming in. Or is it one of the guys I previously mentioned?
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. And 405 boy says, I don't know about 9-3, but 10-2 definitely would get us into the playoff. Here's what I'll say to that. I think a lot of people may be forgetting this scenario, but the teams like Oregon, teams like that, they're in the Big Ten now. There's not going to be many teams with the schedules they have. They're going to have just 0 loss. There's going to be a lot of teams with 2 losses, I think, is what you're going to see going forward. I mean, look at these teams' schedules. Ohio State, it's not just they play Michigan now. They have a tough schedule. Georgia, brutal schedule. It's not the way it used to be in the conferences. Every team's got tough games. I think you're going to see a lot of teams at 10-2, or maybe 9-3. I think 9-3 will be on the cusp of getting in the playoff.
Yeah, look, Aaron Parks never. I don't know what happened there. There was a lot of promise, and it never got fulfilled.
And that's a good point. Where was it down here? Shelby. I heard that kind of the same thing, that if you remember Kevin Durant's injury, do you remember his foot injury? I don't remember what it was called, but he had a tough time coming back from that. And I hear that Barnes had a little bit of struggle too, and that might have been the main issue.
And while we're on injuries, Andy Bass won't play next year.
No.
He's coming off a major surgery,
yeah.
ACL. He's going to be out a year, just like Eric McCarty was. After he came into Norman.
And exactly my point, Sooners win. Texas goes to Michigan. They play OU. They play Georgia. I mean, guys, these schedules are brutal. There's going to be so many teams with 2 losses.
Hey, Bobby, here's what I'll say about this. And Jay, again, my voice is shot from yelling at that basketball game. But I'll say this. I'm not going to be able to get super. You guys enjoy tonight. My voice isn't very loud. It'll be back tomorrow, hopefully. Little salt tonight. Listen, all the guys coming in, there's a difference that's happening in sports right now, specifically college football. The high school guys coming in are actually physically ready. They didn't used to be. The strength and conditioning programs at the high school level have done a phenomenal job. Xavier Robinson, I could go on and on. All the offensive linemen. These guys are physically ready to play in the SEC. They don't have to have a year to get bigger in the weight room. A lot of these guys, they're there. So Xavier Robinson's a guy that could maybe play early and often.
Yeah, you're right. Texans pull it out and make the playoffs. Man, what a story, C.J. Stroud. Wow. Who would have thought, was it Deshaun Watson leaves them, whatever, and now look, they got C.J. Stroud and they're back in the playoffs already. Hey, you need to run the 2 tight end set, Bobby says. Agreed. They need to run some 2 tight end set. I would agree with that, especially with the tight ends they're going to have coming in, I think.
Look, I'll say this, Shelby. With the portal guys, they've got 3 out of the portal. You got Fabechi Miwa. You have Michael Tarquin now, and you have Spencer Brown. In my opinion, that's good. If you also add a Hurd in there, guys, it's going to be all new guys pretty much. But with that group, with the 2024 class, and then no one's mentioning Heath Zaida. I don't know why. There's other guys on campus right now.
Logan Howland. There's other
guys. There's the offensive line room would be cram-packed, and there'd be a lot of competition, and I think that's good.
Here's the deal, though, Jeremy. No matter who your 5 are, they got to get gelled pretty quickly in the offense.
That's the issue, Jay.
To me, it's not an issue of who's the best player right now, who's going to start, because I do think they got talent. Jake Taylor's another one, Hunter says.
Yes.
But here's the issue I have. You got to get 5 going quickly and get them together and get a chemistry. Offensive line to me is so much more about chemistry than it is just pure talent. You got to be good together, and they got to be a good unit. That's kind of where they struggled this year, the first half of the season.
And, Jay, here's the problem. Beatenbow knows what he's got in some of these guys, but you're not really running a lot of set and drill before spring ball. You're in the weight room pretty much. So it's not going to get fixed or put together until early part of next year. Their non-con schedule is not hard. It's not difficult.
It's not hard, but it's not cupcake either.
Well, Tulane,
they did lose their quarterback. They're a pretty good guy. Peace out, Mike. Appreciate you as always.
Thanks,
appreciate you, Mike. Hey, I do got trivia tonight.
Sooner Legends podcast. Check it out.
I do got trivia.
Good. EPL could be the refrigerator Perry, Jay.
Hey, they got some guys coming in 24 class. Eugene Brooks, EPL, Daniel Antonkumi. I mean, they got guys.
Asosa.
Yeah, they got guys. Here's a trivia for tonight. Jeremy, you can answer it too if you want, because I don't know if you know it. Okay.
Good. Let's ask.
Anybody on here can answer this. Trivia for the night. Here we go. Tell me the coaches, and you're going to get a point for every name you get right. Whoever gets it right first. Coaches who have won a Super Bowl and a national championship in college.
Well, I know 1.
Don't answer it. Let's let the people answer it.
I know 2.
You know 2? I'll tell you how many there are. There's 4. There's 4.
I know 2 right now, and they're pretty close.
Switzer's 1, so that would be Sooners to win gets it. Switzer's been guessed, so now who are the other 3?
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson, another one. Sooners to win gets another point. Carroll, that's another one. Mike gets it. There's one
Sooner
more, guys.
Legends podcast with that one.
There's
not
one
Harbaugh.
More. Harbaugh's not it. He lost. So we got Barry Switzer, Jimmy Johnson, Pete Carroll.
Sooner Legend podcast. I give you kudos on the Pete Carroll. I forgot that one.
There's one more name, though. You have to go back. Back in time a little bit. Yeah.
Lovey Smith was not it. If that's.
Do you want me to tell you where he coached college? Would that help?
Chuck Noll?
No. Coached at Ohio State.
Oh, I know it then, I think.
No.
Alexa said only 3.
Wow, Dalpo's using the Alexa.
Jay.
I'm pretty sure there's 4.
Carvan says every team will not lose 2 games.
I'm not saying every team.
A lot in the SEC will.
I'm just saying it's going to be more than other years.
Bill Walsh.
Paul Brown. There it is. Bobby Wiley. Paul Brown. Ohio State.
Urban Meyer, chat. Urban Meyer did well at Jacksonville, but they never got a Super Bowl.
So there it is. We'll get the points figured out tomorrow for you.
There's a controversy with the trivia.
Because they were saying 3, but hey, we're going Paul Brown. We're giving you another one there. So there it is. 4 points for the night.
Hey, let me give some thoughts on the game. Again, a massive win by OU in basketball today. Porter Moser's squad, they made plays at the end when they had to. They didn't make those last year. Excited to watch this team. They didn't actually play that great today and won and beat a pretty good scrappy Iowa State team. OU's defense was elite. Fortunately, Momamajic or whatever, number 22 for Iowa State.
He missed some threes down the stretch.
He missed 3 wide open looks there at the end, and that was huge. But
hey,
they got the W.
Keanu Quinn. Anybody seen Stutzman Instagram story? I have not. Have you? Can somebody check it out for us? Because I can't do it on my phone right now.
What happened? Fred said, "Boys do not get my name first."
I don't know. Maybe he's saying he got it first.
Fred, we'll look through the comments. Hunter,
We always
Hunter
look
will
through
check it out before we put the points up for tomorrow.
It was goofy. I don't know what was the Stutzman Instagram story. Does anybody?
Yeah, hit the like button. Appreciate you.
Can anybody explain it to us? I mean, I'll look at it when I get off here if it's still on there. But
hey, as Dalpois says, hey, listen, we would really appreciate if all 188 on here would just hit the like button once.
That's all it takes. It does help
all it
out.
Takes. Everyone hitting it once, we appreciate you.
Yeah. What about
Malachi Nelson?
Wow,
that's so bad.
Why do you think he just went to Boise and didn't go anywhere else?
Yeah.
Do you think he was? I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's a weird situation, man.
Something very popular in. Hey, I'm not going to get into it then if it's what I think it is, but Fred, thanks. Appreciate you praying for our dad. That means a lot. Thanks so much, Fred, for being on here as well.
Well, I kind of got a hint about it by what they said. It's something very popular in Oklahoma.
Says, I never believed in magic till my dog turned into a snake.
Casinos and...
Okay, I don't know. Hey, I will say this again. Make sure.
Maybe if Steve was on here tonight, we can ask him what's going on.
I don't even know what it is. So, Jay, sorry I was late tonight, but thanks for all you guys being on here. I know there were some supers delivered earlier.
Appreciate everybody.
Who was that? Tanya did.
Chad.
Sooner Legend Podcast did.
Chad
Gamble. If you want to be a Sooner Surge Unlimited member, you can find that link. You can find that link on our YouTube channel in the description, I believe. Appreciate that.
Hey, what is Fred asking here? Who's the biggest country music fan in Oklahoma?
Toby Keith.
I mean, is that what he's asking?
I don't know. Appreciate it, Dalpois. I'll have my voice back tomorrow so I can yell louder. But we appreciate everyone being on
Every
here
night,
as always.
9:30.
Yeah, 9:30 back again tomorrow night. Till next time. Boomer.
Sooner.